Hey. Life in the dumps. How you doing? Thanks for being a first joiner. Yeah, I grabbed this from New Earth. It doesn't copyright catch my music, so. James. Oh, hey, James. I just wanted to do a quick video to show you some stuff here. Wow, is it over? There we go. That's a really good video if you can catch it. I was very inspired by this video. I want to show you a couple things very quickly. There's a guy doing construction outside, and I also am cooking something in my oven. So let me just get into it real quick. Originally, let me just make sure everything's quiet now. How do I sound? What did you send me? Dare I check it right here live on the air? Let me just go real quick into my... I think you mean Facebook, right? The problem is I have so many different platforms. Okay, I got you. Yeah, let me... Let's see, you said you need to learn how to send this stuff and not have to take pictures, but if you look at these coordinates, roll them time back to 2003, the circles, you can barely see them. Well, you know, I think there's still a lot of modern day activity going on there, and I think that still there's a lot of people, some of those modern day activity things are burial mounds, and they're just automatically burying their dead next to ancient sites which may or may not have been burial mounds at all, you know. I think things get developed. Okay, so I see the circles you're showing me. I can even move that over here, right there. I think something's burning. I might have to put out a fire in a minute. So, like I said, especially the circle with the dot in the middle. I mean, if it's not modern day, then it's quite old. I think most of this can be classified as tumulus or tumuli. I mean, I'm not saying it's all cut and dry. I'd have to take a closer look, and also remember I'm not on the ground. I would make sure to look at it under using the let me see the other thing you sent. Yeah, I see the coordinates. I'll take a look at that after this. The reason why I wanted to show this video today was to talk about whether or not I thought these were manipulated rivers. Can you hear the jackhammers outside? I'm going to come closer to the microphone so I don't have to shout. And, you know, at first I was like, oh, look what they did. But then after looking all over the world, this is South Africa, but here's, not that, that's for soon. This is Australia. This is the fishing traps, 40,000 years old. Here we can see them from the sky. Pretty sure that's what we see here, and all this stuff here, and there's a nice dam. It doesn't have anything after that. But here it's called the ancient 40,000-year-old Barwon River traps in Australia. And I thought about Dr. Charles Koss and how he helped me out last night. So shout outs to him. And the topic which I'm bringing in is, no, I don't think those are manipulated. I think over time, first of all, I think it's very, very flat flood basin, and over time that changed, you know, and there would be a flood where it's all covered. Maybe the water levels get really high, land gets moved around, shifted, and over time things change. I mean, I can't say that was done on purpose. I mean, what would be the point? You know, to make it straighter? Okay, maybe to make it straighter. But really, I still don't understand the point. That's the next step then to cut through here, right? But you can see that it's happened several times over time. It used to be this way. Now it's over here. No, I don't think it's manipulated by man at all. But then we look at this, and that's where we have a different story altogether, right? Okay, let me get into the live streaming. Hi there, Charles. Yeah, I thought about you. You brought this up yesterday, and I said, wow, I haven't done a video on it yet. So I thought I would do it right now. And just a quick video. There's jackhammers outside. And this is stuff that I just found really quick. AncientCanalBuilders.com. You know, we talk about canals. I've shown canals. Oh, you know what, Charles? Because I know you're here, I hate to do this to you, but I mean, come on. That's not a man-made canal. I'm not going to spend a lot of time on this, Charles. I'm just teasing you here. I'm just showing you a couple canals. Look at this canal here and this canal here. That's 20 miles long. There's plenty of canals in them hills. And there's the other one. I have to back out a little bit to find it. But I won't make this about the richat structure. Instead, I'm going to look at this information. By the way, Charles, I do a lot of my stuff live, so I'm looking at this information live for the first time. Yeah, a mile wide. I measured some before, and it's about a mile. Of course, I saw this on my own. I discovered the Eye of the Sahara 10 years ago before I knew any of the theories about the richat. Okay, I'm looking at this. It says the entire complex is about 300 by 350 miles in area. I think it's bigger than that, isn't it? Let's go back down there. There's so many more things I can say about the richat. I'll say it later. If you hang around, I'll tell you one more thing. But these are the canals that I put in the thumbnail, right? I mean, look at that. How can you not notice that from the air? It's almost even more prominent than the Eye of the Sahara is. And I'm learning about these. I checked them out, and at first when I looked at it, I said, "Oh, that's natural. It couldn't be. But when you look at rivers like this, and you say, "No, that's natural," that's not natural. The fish traps, and by the way, I wonder if you have some comments about that, since these are in Australia, right? These fish traps, 40,000 years old. I saw them brought up in a feed under some comments in something. I wouldn't want to go looking for where I found those comments. So terraforming is definitely part of our history, isn't it? And it's unbelievable. Let me see if I can make this bigger. 7 miles, or about 35,000 feet high. I think I'm going to be starting a fire with my breakfast pretty soon. I mean, there's nothing. It's really amazing to see this from the ground. There's unfortunately, one of the things when I searched Okavango Delta, I saw a lot of pictures of dead elephants because I put in conspiracy in the word, because I saw a lot of pictures of dead elephants. That's bad news. I don't want that, so I'm definitely interested in not. But it makes you wonder why this area was created. Was it created to keep big animals like this safe? I mean, when you go in there, they're all reserves. When you go into the Google Earth and click on all this stuff is reserves or gaming areas. Like I said, I promise to keep this short. I'm just going to go through some of this info that I pulled up, and then I'll get over with it, because I'm going to be burning my breakfast very quickly. I mean, I think that we see exactly what is said. Mile-wide craters. Canals. And, the one thing that I didn't really believe it at first until I started to visit. And if you're a newcomer, my previous video is showcasing things like this, structures like this, and who could have created these weird structures. So it's very close to that same area. And then if you're also a richat structure was the concentric circles Plato wrote about. Two things on that. I'm just going to get back over there because I'm almost done with this, and I don't want to waste time looking at links. Two things. When you look at this crater here, this is a crater, and if you look at the topographical maps, you can see that the strike that hit that actually took out the mountains that's around there. Look at this right here. There's no mountains anymore. If this was true so-called dome geology, would not those rings be complete? What happened to those mountains right there? That's the one thing that I had to say about that. And the other thing was, there was one other thing about richat, but I'm all, because I noticed from your title last night, Charles, that you, the other thing was, of course, Charles, you probably know that the ancient Tamanrasset River was right there. So access to the eye, I believe, hooked around here. We had the Maghreb Sea supplying water, and I believe that it actually, this arc here, it looks like it's artificially made, and then we have a canal. I mean, it's quite small, but it could have supplied water to this whole system. Maybe there were several suppliers of water systems, but I do believe that the Tamanrasset River created this whole shoreline if it wasn't from the flood itself. This is a shoreline here, and it's 2,000 feet high. I think that this whole north side was basically a lake. You can see the bottom of that lake right about here and how it's been covered by the sand dunes, but that was a lake of some sort for a long time. All right, anyways, back to the South Africa, then I'll end the video. Basically, the Okavango Delta, the ancient canals. We can see here a thing by the World According to SteveNQ.com. He calls it Atrahasis. I don't know what Atrahasis was, so I definitely wanted to figure this one out. I guess it has something to do with Anunnaki, right? I'm learning stuff all the time. I'm definitely not as well read as some of the people who come and visit me, and I definitely think this cuneiform symbol is very nice. So I found this, and it happens to be talking about these canals. It says that that was an enormous lake. And you can see all the canals, of course. They're so easy to see. The obvious abrupt ending of the canals, which originally was the lake's or inland sea's perimeter. I just can't imagine what they were doing there. I don't believe a civilization was just sitting there living in all those canals, were they? I guess I can't imagine boats going up and down. Were they actually the ones that Plato wrote about? Because you certainly have room for that up there by the eye as well, but it's all covered in sand now. Anyways, my ignorance starts to show when you hear my silence. Okay, something about the axis shift. They run east to west with an offset of around 10 degrees. So it may indicate a slight shift to Earth axis. Yeah, well, that could have happened any time, right? I don't know about that one. How many times do you think the Earth's axis could have shifted in the last 250,000 years? According to the things that I was looking at, Michael Tellinger, he was saying that it was a great link. I read it last night. 240,000 years is what the Sumerians wrote as their lineage of kings. And then he claims 200,000 years for his stone circles. I don't know if you've looked into those. But I just, by the way, found a new one just now. I should show you that really quickly. If you haven't looked in my Ancient Insight Facebook page at Ancient Insight, I found this. It's pretty... Wait, where is it? Why isn't it here? It should be right here. What happened? Something's missing. This is not right. Something's missing. Something's missing. That's wrong. I don't understand. I'm pretty sure that I posted it. Okay, well, that's weird. That's very strange. I guess I must have not hit enter. I mean, to be honest, it's the only real answer there. Too bad, because it was nice and ready. The thing that I'm talking about was I found the... Oh, it's going to be so hard for me to find this way. That's why I put the links there, so I don't lose them. I found some of those gold mines, the Anunnaki gold mines that Michael Tellinger is always talking about. And I'm going to have to think about where that was. So it's going to be difficult for me. It would have to be right about here. I don't know. What did I do with those? Did I forget to hit enter? All right, well, I'm having a bad morning. Let me look at the comments really quickly, and then I'll try to get out of here. I'm in the middle of burning my... Let me just turn the oven off. There we go. I'm burning my breakfast. It's almost noon, actually. I do have to work later. So, Charles, thanks for your comments. And James, you're commenting under the AKA Life in the Dumps. Yeah, the river was all natural. Straight lines and right angles don't happen in nature. Thank you, James. And I say that all the time, and I was arguing with Ethan about that. I know, Charles, they do happen. The question is the mountains. I'll just zoom into those since I can get there pretty quick. These 90-degree mountains, what do you think about them? Okay, so here we are in... This is Lesotho, and this... Oh, there's another parallel thing, right? Going into this parallel, there's a line that follows down here. There's another parallel structure, and the... Oh, gosh, I can never find them. There they are. Thank you. So, yeah, these mountains. Now, I've shown them already. There's a groove here when the bedrock gets exposed. These little grooves happen all the time in what I've been looking at. But other than that, it's a straight line comes out to about here. I'm beginning to think that the ancient miners had all this extra stuff they had to get rid of. And some guy was just being cute by creating this juxtaposed legs. You know, that just does that happen in nature, Doctor? Depends. They do happen if it's I've never been to those fish places. I mean, it looks like I wouldn't really say they were Stonehenge. They were tools. They were stone tools to catch fish. So I was just looking at the so-called oldest mine in the world, which was located in Eswatini, and it was 40,000 years old. But it turned out it wasn't really even for gold. It was for other things, and a little iron ore. Yeah, that's funny, James, when you say larger than normal human-like beings. It's funny because I just saw a quote from Lincoln, President Lincoln, who said the ancient mound builders, and he was implying that there was a collection of pictures I got from a video. I think probably Robert Seffer or not sure who. I grabbed him, and it had pictures of these skulls, and it showed a really large one and said the ancient mound builders had larger skulls. This was in North America, of course. I'm still reading comments. James, during the megafauna and flora age, why would only animals and plants be big? Charles, I don't rule out Rashad. I'm not that close-minded. It's possible. Well, I know what you meant, but when it was in your title, it was like, okay, you didn't want to have that type of conversation. And when I tuned in, you were reading other people's comments, which was very unique. I do that myself, but I don't read them out loud. I definitely scan them. And I thought you were going to be talking about something not related to archaeology, or I don't like to use the term pseudo-archaeologist. They claim Graham Hancock's a pseudo-archaeologist with thousands of citations in his work. I don't understand how they can do that to someone. Well, I turned off the oven. Okay, the Earth axis thing introduces too many variables, makes it very complex. Yes, I agree. For this reason, I don't like that Mario build rep stuff. Exactly, it's so overwhelming. He should be looking at east-west alignments with sun at dawn. I totally agree. Charles, I did a video about the Great Year, going back in the ages. Unfortunately, we're not going to, according to Stellarium, we're not going to see the age of Aquarius for another 900 years. The Aries is only 10 degrees in the sky, so it only goes back 1,000 years. It's a very quick age. Jesus was born at the beginning of Pisces. It was a very convenient time to start the new counting of the age. I'm trying to figure out when the Sphinx was facing Leo. I saw Graham Hancock's numbers, and I kind of calculated different numbers, but twice in the last 36,000 years, I guess maybe the Sphinx could have been, I think it was a lion more than I think it was Anubis. And I think that recarving the face is not a good term. I think that, like I said, you see through the Sphinx's skull, the recarving, you can see the yellow. Actually, it's a black and white photo, but it's an 1850s photo. You can see the limestone underneath, and you can see the gray kind of cement on top, and it's totally chipped away in those photos. You can see all the pre-repair jobs that were done to it in those photos. I think it tells the whole story that it was recast from the chin up. You can really see it in a couple of pictures. And I used your video when the guy who went asked what picture to take, and you said get the rear end of it. And he also you showed in another one of your videos pictures of the guys putting white paste on the Sphinx. So I really think that they did the same thing. They're recoloring the head too. Okay, let's back to the comments. Breakfast is now lunch. Continental shelves are almost crystalline as they are straight lines. Yeah, and I believe that they kind of represent what the Ice Age shores looked like. There's that video by Ollie Bai, and it shows the shoreline changes 20,000, 18,000, 17,000 years ago. But it doesn't do much with Africa, and it doesn't do much with South America as well. So let's see here. Right, Lincoln saw the giant remains with his own eyes. Let's see here. I don't like the richat because I think the medieval ancient Matthew Paris. Oh, okay. Is that how you spell his name? Which shows old Sarum in the middle of a rectangular plane is what generated the Atlantis legend. Okay, that rectangular plane, did I just see that? Okay, so old Sarum in the middle of a rectangular plane is what generated the Atlantis legend. I'm looking at that right there. I guess I can share the comments what I'm looking at here. I don't think it was carved from the neck. I think the neck was ground down to a stump, and then they put this thing on top of it. Old Sarum ditches carved around a hill, and the spring is there. You're right in the neck. Okay, so I don't know about that map. And I did a couple of map videos. Of course, I learned, when I did the videos, I was mispronouncing everything. I didn't know who I was talking about. And, map of Britain, wonder which map you were mentioning. You're talking about, which map are you talking about? And let me put the comments back over here. And I thought you were talking about the pre-Reese map at first. Yeah, let me find that old picture of the Sphinx. Old black and white Sphinx photos from 1800s. I don't want to search for... Okay, I didn't want that one. Yeah, I think that's it right there. That's not the front. I want the back of the head. But this one right here, I really think you can see the color difference. And you can see that in modern day images. Check out that video that I created. I chose a couple that also have this copyright image on them. But the colors difference is so intense. You can totally see it's not a recarving at all. Come on. I've never been there. I've never been to Africa. I've been to 30 countries. I've been to Angkor Wat twice. Although I was really ignorant both times when I went. I've learned so much since then about that place, and I definitely want to go again. I found the Matthew Paris, but I'm not sure which map you're talking about. Let me say Old Sarum, and then that should answer that, right? Let's see which map comes up. So it must be this one. I'm doing two things at once, right? I wanted to look at the back of the Sphinx head. Back of head. Back of head. There it is. Yeah, this is the one. I think this right here is like the smoking gun. Let me see if I can pull this up and zoom in onto it. Oh, I hate it when it's Pinterest. I hate Pinterest so much. I hate Pinterest so much. I'm gonna get a high-res picture of that. Not Pinterest. No, not Pinterest. Not Pinterest. This is impossible. Come on, don't do this to me. There's a better picture other than Pinterest. All right. Oh, here we go. Let's try this one. I'll even download it. And we can look at that real quick. I mean, you can see this color and this color are different. Oh, where is it? Where is it? Open, please. All right, there you can zoom in now. I don't know. I think I had a higher resolution of this, but yeah, you can search it again and get a higher resolution. The one I have is better. This part is such a different color, and that is the same there. And you can see it peeking through here, and you can kind of see. I thought you could see it peeking through up here. That I want to call that beige. Okay, I do paint, and I want to call this kind of a more of a cement gray. Maybe you can say brown, but not beige. And these got to be cast lines, right? How can you have that cast line recarved? Who would carve that line in there? Those are natural grains of the limestone sticking through. That's all before that headdress was fixed, right? So everything back there now is all fake. Okay, let's look at the map, and I'm going to get back to your comments. Where's that map at? Okay, here it is. Is that it? Why doesn't it show the whole thing? Oh, there it is. I wonder if I can zoom in here. It would be nice if I could fill the screen here. This is interesting. It has all the different parts. It's interactive. Let me make this larger. Look at this. It's interactive. So it's translated the thing. This is a historiacartarum.org/annotated-claudius-map/. Yeah, so now I need to find Old Sarum in the middle of a rectangular plane, which has generated the Atlantis legend. Now I have to find the rectangular plane. I can't stop it from getting larger. Must be that area here. Old Sarum. Wait, where's Old Sarum? Just have a search. Wonder if I can just save this picture. Too bad I cannot. Old Sarum. I'm not seeing it. I'm assuming you're talking about something around here. You said rectangular thing. I haven't really seen that yet. Let me see if I can find anything down here. This is the bottom. I have to hold. Well, I guess it's good. And I'll read your comment. Let's see here. Wow. Oh, by the way, regarding the Prairie Reese map, you do see the Tamanrasset River. I do believe that the Tamanrasset River existed up to 1,000 years ago. I'm just reading your comments here. I think I better go back a little bit here. So he was in the 13th century prolific medieval chronicler. Angkor Wat is a Buddhist temple. I believe that. Oh, you can see England is drawn as a rectangular plane. Okay, I'm sorry. Now that I know what we're supposed to be looking at, well, what is? It didn't look like a world map or a Western map. So is that all of England right there? This is a close-up of England. Oh, I see what you're saying, but that's just England only. If I could control this thing a little better, let me just zoom back out. All right. So this is England, basically. Am I not mistaken on that? All right, I'm going to learn about this. I'm going to kind of check into this and have to read up. I'm going to finish reading what you just said. SARS. Oh, by the way, I did write a book about SARS back in 2007. That's a different time, and I won't talk about it. But I wrote a book about that. And now SARS is back, baby. SARS is back. Oh, I can zoom in like that, but it scrolls too simultaneously. It's very, very confusing, this interactive map. I should probably find another one. I see, oh, you just said it. There it is. Ceres, right here? Right there? Salisbury? Seraph B? No. Yeah, I know. It's frustrating. Sorry. It's here. If I can control it. I think that's the one you were talking about right there, isn't it? You said at the Central Crossroads, SARB, Central Crossroads, right there, right? Saraf B? Salisbury. Now I have to figure out the main point of that map here. You said that it was I see. So you think that basically Doggerland, I think it was all, by the way, Robert Seffer made a strong stance against the richat in one of his videos, and he was, I mean, all I can say is that I think that we're talking about this whole region, not just obviously. I mean, we found some concentric circles, and I think it's a cool theory. It would take a lot more to make me want to bet my life. If somebody said, your life, choose yes or no, what the hell, I'll just say yes. But there was a Taman Reset entrance here. We do have, where I think the water levels came down to, we do have banks of mud here, and as opposed to, I mean, if it's no longer passable by Shiv, why would there be mud in the middle? The map that Robert Seffer showed had this whole area, including here, all this as so-called Atlantis. Well, obviously, we know that there was something before Atlantis, and there was something here, and I'm looking here nowadays because it's supposed to be the cradle of humanity, and you've got things like this. I mean, I get flabbergasted. I don't know what to say anymore. So I just try to document what I've seen, and I don't really make statements as much as ask questions, although I do get into positions where I'm kind of forced to stand my ground sometimes. You know they do that on purpose to hide something, right? No, I'm just kidding. I am a conspiracy nutcase, but it's just amazing how I mean, first of all, I don't really know what I'm looking at, but you don't see an actual waterway anymore. But I think that you see buildups of water. I was actually going to make a point about that with these rivers here. You do see a dry river suddenly have a little pool of water in there. Why is that water still there? Well, there's a water table, and it's like a sponge, right? I think the one that we saw here in Australia, I already navigated away here. I think we see that here, the different pools of water in the old rivers. They're kind of just like lakes, right? And it's really so big. I think that these changes definitely were natural, but when you see it, you're like, oh, I'm a conspiracy nutcase, so that's man manipulated. But I don't see how anybody can argue that this is not man manipulated. Well, and by the way, I don't want to say man, and that's the word I'm looking for. I was searching for it the other day. I don't want to say anthro, but artificial or intelligent canals, intelligent rivers. This one still has water. Maybe not. So anyways, I just wanted to document this morning. I should probably finish up. It's noon here. One last look at the comments. Hey, Scratch. Thanks for joining. I'm going to check into that a little bit deeper, what you mentioned. Electrical scarring. Well, if you looked at my videos, and I have to be honest, the earlier videos in 2013 that really went viral and made me a few thousand US were from a friend of mine. Let's call him Plasma Dave. Now he's got a YouTube channel that makes him up to $10,000 a month, and he's doing all sorts of affiliate marketing on top of that. So if you really want to have conversations about how to make more money with your YouTube channel, even though I'm not doing it, I can definitely talk about it. I've seen it. I think I know what I need to be doing. But let's focus back on the point, which was his videos were about the electric universe. And, I sometimes wonder if this was not a Carrington event that created this. I mean, Poseidon's trident, what does that represent? It's like the not a lightning bolt of Zeus, but an electronic thing. How was this created? I don't think that's dome geology at all. I think that was created by man, like Plato wrote. It's 50 miles wide. If it wasn't created by man, then it was created by some type of electronic event. That's a lightning strike at a giant level, in my opinion. You were talking about ley lines, and I think that's another reason why, as I showed earlier, there's no mountains here. What happened to the mountains if it's so-called dome geology? And I do think that it's I showed a picture of a lightning strike. You get these circles from a lightning strike. That's a different video thumbnail of mine. People thought I was trolling them, but I was being serious about that picture. I'm not going to try to search for it now. It's going to be impossible to find the picture, but it looks exactly like this, and it's a lightning strike on a car. So when lightning strikes metal, it makes this same shape. I think that this was created maybe by a god. I mean, they said, no, we're going to do the eye of... What was that? Oh, somebody mentioned that I was a Thother, that I thought it was the eye of Thoth or something like that. I don't know who came up with that. Now, I think that that's definitely not a crater, which is something, I guess technically it's definable as a crater, because there's different types of craters, aren't there? I heard that freshwater spring thing, and I saw it on Visiting Atlantis, which was actually the same time when I discovered the Eye of Africa, doing what I'm doing right now. And then 10 years later, Jimmy from Bright Insight brought it up in his video, and a lot of people quote that, but I haven't seen it. Where? The center? The center's here, and there's some people here. Where's that? Here's the center where people exist. And Josh Serkinson gave me credit. He gave me a shout out when he went there with that indie architect guy. And they were walking over here by these structures. And it's like, damn, focus on the damn structures. Don't sit there and they never even went over to the castle. I'm so frustrated with those guys. But Josh is doing his own thing now, and he just met Bright Insight in Egypt. So just 1 degree of separation for me. But I'm actually more excited about Brian, Jimmy is a great guy. I'm just more interested in people like you, Charles, and like Graham Hancock and Randall Carlson, and people who can really explain to me some stuff about, but where are those springs? That's the big question, right? Well, Jimmy was quoting something that Visiting Atlantis, I think it's visitingatlantis.org did, because I was searching for stuff. Don't even look at my early videos, because the early videos that I did on the subject were totally lame. I mean, I was just showing pictures of stuff that I wanted to talk about, but I had nothing I could say. And then it's been about 2 years now, so I've at least kind of have a better stance and foundation on some of this stuff. Maya? Didn't the Maya mention Atlantis? Well, I think the thing about North America is we've got the feathered serpent translate into something that's very similar to the word Atlantis. Of course, not Quetzalcoatl. I don't remember. I always mix that word up. Quetzalcoatl. I always mix that up. And because I mixed it up, I now can never remember the right way. Someone's going to have to get on top of me about that. It's just because I never say it. But the point is that Aztlan was the kind of the promised land of the Mayas, wasn't it? And that's also Atlantis, in my opinion. I hear all sorts of things. I think there's all sorts of stories, and maybe some of them are all true. As far as where the word America came from, that was interesting. I just saw that covered again. I think Robert Sefer brought it up. Sefer. And by the way, he's from my neighborhood. He does his videos, and he's walking around the beaches in Los Angeles. That's where I'm from. I really wish I could go home right now, but Taiwan's safer than California. And I'm not just talking about the so-called COVID virus problem. I'm talking about just trying to go there. It would be so expensive and prohibitive right now. So better to just stay here. But I'm telling you, the minute I can, I'm definitely going to go walk that same beach. Alrighty, I'm going to try to finish this up. Give it a couple more minutes, though. I'm not in that big of a hurry. I definitely welcome the new guests to my live stream. Thanks so much. I don't know if Charles is still here. If you are, thanks for sticking around. And I James, I kind of ignored. So as you can tell now, Life in the Dumps is James, and he's talking to me on two different sides here. StreamYard. Yeah, I know what you're saying. The different things, the StreamYards and the live. What's the other one? And you can monetize through them. And I'm overwhelmed by so many things. I just don't really want to try to link something up to YouTube right now. Instead, maybe get YouTube to get a little bit better. I know about the super chats. They take a big chunk of that, so I really am kind of on the fence about super chats also. I kind of did that last night, Charles, hopefully to get some other people to give you some super chats, because I really think you deserve more. And isn't it funny, I forgot, did you have 40,000 or 24,000 subs and still not enough super chats? So you deserve more super chats, but at the same time, super chats are kind of a terrible thing, because YouTube takes 20 or 30% of them. They take a big chunk of that money. So, any last minute comments before I go? I'm going to read the last minute comments really quick, just to follow up. Definitely, Olmecs were survivors of Atlantis. I think that everybody you see is a survivor of Atlantis. I think that maybe the Phoenicians were survivors of Atlantis. Who were they? Nobody was advertising, right? So, all right, guys, I'm out of here. I gotta go. It's already 15 minutes past my lunchtime. Okay, I'll check. Yeah, no, I know it's easy. I've used them before. I've used the stream services before. And if it was a better way to monetize, trust me, I'd be really interested. I think that YouTube is kind of, like I said, shadow banning all channels. I was surprised that Charles didn't get more super chats last night, and I'm surprised that 4,700 subscribers, and I only have currently 3 concurrent viewers. So yeah, I think that it's bad. It's not good. All right, I better get out of here. Let's see here. Oh, I see. Well, I usually do it through the ancient. I usually do. Sorry, I don't want to repeat. I gotta. I pin all my stuff here, and I don't know what happened to the one that I just found, but it was right there. I must have forgot to hit enter. That's the only thing I can think of. So I share them right here. Ancient Insight. Salisbury Cathedral. I'll check it out. That's the one in England that you guys were just talking about. I have to reread the comments because I didn't quite catch why we pulled that map up, and I want to know more. So I'm going to check that right after I disconnect. I'm not in a hurry to walk out the door, but I will. What am I doing here? Oh, yeah, I've seen your videos. What? I thought I did. All right, guys. Thank you so much. Have a good day. Last thing I'm going to say is that I usually do these in this way on my channel, and I'm trying to kind of reproduce the videos and put them on my other channel. So please check out the other channels in the down below and subscribe to them and help me out. Get me past the 100 subscriber threshold, because especially the was this Atlantis. Please, I should have said that at the beginning of the video, but I'm not really into the self-promotion thing. But yeah, the Was This Atlantis channel, I'm trying to surpass 100 subs on that so I can qualify for a couple of features on YouTube. So please help me sub that. Thank you. Have a good day. Bye-bye.